Growing up, I could remember an incident where I was interested in a girl, and I told my friends how I was not interested and how I did not care about her. And I could remember how that affected my relationship with her, friendship, I mean, because you don't want to be seen with the girl you were never interested in, and you don't want to be seen in some way. So I believe this is a way you see the effect of not validating your emotions. I just use this as an example because this could be in different forms or ways, because it affects the way you feel things. You cannot work on that thing once you do not validate it. Thank you for joining today, and it's a great pleasure to have you join me today on this particular episode. And I want to appreciate Abiola, Jen, and Tochi for being a part of it, for sharing their stories, and it was really a nice one to do with them. And today I will just be talking on a few things, a few points that I've made here there. And the first one is about your validity of your emotions. The validity of your emotions. Know that your emotions are valid. You have a reason to feel the way you feel. They might even be because of your experiences or different things. But when you acknowledge the fact that you feel the way you feel, that is the only way or the only time you can work on them. When you know that you feel so angry about a situation, that is when you can work on it. Because most times you deny the fact that you are angry, and it hits you up to the point whereby you just voice out and scatter the whole place one of those days. And if you do not agree that you're depressed, we've seen people in a depressing moment later on just slip into the moment where they commit suicide. So these are real things. These are things that happen. And you've seen people that were lonely and they never agreed to that. So the way you feel, when you acknowledge it, that's the only time you can work on those emotions and get better at it. And one thing is, the fact that you can feel some way also gives room for other people to also feel the way they do. So understand that they have reasons to feel that way. And that is not saying you should just take anything from people, but understand that they have reasons to feel that way and put yourself in their shoes to see if this is how you will react in situations too. So understand that your emotions are valid. Other people's emotions are valid too. And it's also important that you let those emotions out and let them out in a way that you would never regret, because that's also important. Most times you behave irrationally. You just want to react. Yes, I'm angry, or I do this. Just react in a way you would not regret as time goes on. A friend of mine once told me how he writes things down in pen and paper when anytime he's overly angry, and this is just his own way of putting it out. Also, Jennifer mentioned slipping it over. It's all about what works for you, but something that you would never regret. One thing I'm just saying is, never bottle your emotions. Express them. If it's a dialogue that works, yes, do it. And also, because this day and age, there are a lot of barriers to even expressing your emotions, maybe because of the position you are, because of your age. But understand that even irrespective of your position, irrespective of your age, there is a way you can express it that suits any of that. So I've heard people say you should not react because of your age, you should not react because of your position or any other thing. I believe you can react, but the way you should react is just based on that position, the way you see yourself too. Do you want to be seen scattering the whole place? If you're cool with that, yeah, do it once it doesn't affect anybody. But beyond that, I believe being civilized, addressing it the way that no one would regret is still the best. And If possible, give it time even before reacting to situations. Is this the same way you would react even 2 days after that situation? If it's the same way, yes, you can go on with that. But if you notice that something would have changed over time, then it's better for you to not react the way at the heat of the moment, because humans generally want to react at the heat of the moment and overreact sometimes. Let your emotions out in a way you would never regret. And also, you need to understand your environment. There are some places that you do not have to react some particular way. Understand that place that you are. See if it is the time you can talk. Some people, you're even so joyful when you know that the atmosphere doesn't necessarily reflect that. Despite the fact that you have to celebrate, you have to do that. Look at the environment. Is it the proper environment to do this at this point in time? If it's the proper environment, yes, put it out. Just understand the emotional intelligence. Have a level of intelligence when it comes to your emotions, to react the way you should react. And it's so important that other people also express their emotions in certain way. If it's possible, understand them too. I think Tochi mentioned at some point even venting out, but he suggested going through the normal route. But when someone is overly angry and is even reacting some way, that doesn't mean he's your greatest enemy also. It's just the way he wants to react at that moment. Understand and just respect it and give them time. So check how people also react to situations and respect them for that. And the last thing I would say is triggers. Look out for triggers. What triggers you to react this way? Once that sign is coming around, then walk out. Just do what works at that moment. If it's walking out, and just avoid those moments. And also, triggers can be in different ways too. If it's something that is going to bring joy to someone, then do it. Compliment people, just make their day, get them a gift, do something nice for people that will make them happy all the rest of the day. So I believe with this, we just be a better person as time goes on. We'll be the best of ourselves. We'll be a better version of ourselves. It's not necessarily that you take all these things and run with it once, but just do one thing one at a time. Just like me now, I'm seriously working on complimenting people naturally. So work on what works at the moment and be that better person, and let's make the world a better place for everyone to live. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And next week and for a few episodes, we'll be looking at identity and how the effect of identity on humans generally. Most times we think identity is just one thing that you become once, but it's a process and you continue to discover who you are as time goes on. So I believe you're still going to join us through that journey too. And thanks a lot for being part of this. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.